Dear Acton families, Shannon here. How are you doing? It's the middle of July during COVID. How are y'all feeling about the upcoming school year? Carmen and I wanted to check in with you all and let you know what is the plan for the upcoming year. Despite everything, we think we actually do have a great plan for you. So please listen, it might be kind of long. First, we want to say thank you to everyone who filled out the survey about going back to school. Thank you for all of your very diverse opinions and for sharing your concerns and your great ideas for reopening that make a lot of sense. We, of course, don't know exactly when we're going to go back to the physical building, but we are thinking about it and gathering information, and we'll just always be in touch communicating with you. In the meantime, we've been feeling, as I'm sure that you have, kind of in a fog, not really knowing what exactly is going to happen, what the government's going to do, and sometimes, I'm sure for you too, it feels difficult to make decisions or to move forward with plans. The uncertainty and the stress can make it difficult to take action. So the name of the game has been baby steps and survival, and just trying to get through this with some grace and some routine. Like I said, we still don't know what the government will decide. So what Carmen and the staff and I decided is that instead of waiting to see what's going to happen, that we would just make some decisions to give you all and ourselves some degree of control and predictability, which I think we're all craving. So we met with the guides and we planned our year, and I have to say we're actually so excited about it. So we wanted to share it with you. Two separate situations. Number one, I'm going to start first with Montessori, and then we'll talk about Acton. So for infant community and for Children's House, for the foreseeable future, we're going to be continuing with Parents Plus. So supporting you to empower you to be the best Montessori parents and guides that you can be in your home using what you have there. And we are constantly improving that and constantly adding more and more videos. Did you know that we now have almost 200 videos available to support you? And these are not videos showing the image of a giraffe and talking about that that's a giraffe. No, we are Montessori, pure Montessori. So we are engaging kids in becoming more independent and more autonomous with every single thing that they do to increase that level of autonomy over time. And that is going to allow you to be doing more of your adult work over time. So let me explain how it works. I know everyone who's joined has given really good constructive feedback, and that's allowed us to keep making that even better, and we're going to keep improving it, but it's going great. First of all, you sign up, which we'll be sending you a link, and then your child's Montessori guide will call you and make an appointment, and then voila, she will create a wonderful online, fully customized schedule for you that works with your family that you can just click into to get activities, scripts, practical life activities, art activities, science activities, so many amazing activities, and also the daily practical life Montessori core presentations and activities. So your nanny, your abuelos, you as parents can just click into that and know exactly what should be happening every day, at what time, and with tons of support from us. There, in the premium package, there's also times of interaction between the guides and your children and other children, but brief, because little kids shouldn't be, having a lot of screen time, and they don't like it really, but they do like to interact and see their guide and to see the other kids. There's also group coaching with other parents, and there's one-on-one coaching with the guide or with Carmen, and that will just help you to solve your most challenging parenting moments that we all have. So it's just a great program, and if you haven't signed up for it yet, please check it out and do. We have different pricing levels to be sensitive to your economic situation, and you're going to love it, and we're going to be doing that until we figure out how to start coming back physically safely together. And it's also a way to ensure, honestly, that the school keeps going and that we can pay staff, because everyone needs to pull together right now with whatever we can to just survive and keep going together. So if you want more information about that, we'll be, sending links and everything. Okay, now for that second part, we're going to talk about what's going on in Acton Academy. So the kids have been doing great from Spark, which is kindergarten prepa, all the way to 8th grade right now. They've been doing awesome, and the kids, have been doing great. The last 2 sessions of the year, we couldn't believe it, how great the guides did, how great the kids did. They literally went from learning at school to learning at home. Literally, they didn't miss a day of school. So we're really proud of them, and we're so proud and grateful to our amazing guides, Millie, Carla, and Gabby, who from their own COVID nightmares in their houses have been able to provide that routine, that structure, that creativity, the emotional support to keep the kids getting up every day, working on their projects, and, being able to get through this time with a minimum of disruption. I know that this kind of support and this routine is really helping parents because you've all been giving us awesome feedback. And also I know that in my own home, it's been a real help with my kids being engaged in that in the morning. So I know how you guys feel. Also, thanks for signing up for summer camp. We're seeing very similar things there, and we really appreciate it. So continuing on with that, let me tell you about the amazingness that we have planned for this year. First of all, we are going to start school again on Wednesday, August 19th. So for now, that's going to be over the computers. So we'll be working with you to figure out how to get your Chromebooks back to you if you don't have them. They'll be all clean and we'll have a process. So don't worry, we'll be in touch about the details. But right now, I want to tell you how excited we are about the curriculum that we have planned. So we sat with the guides and we asked ourselves, how could we make this year the best year possible for the Eagles and for their families? And we have decided that this is such a rich time, an extraordinary time in human history, that we're going to take advantage of all the learning that is available right now. At Acton, we try to be heroes, everyday people who find the opportunity in the crisis. And we're huge believers of forging order out of chaos. So that's going to be our yearly question, our overarching question of the year that we have every year. Every year we have this umbrella overarching question, and it's always a really juicy, amazing question that we can squeeze and draw out of all year long, and it provides a theme. So the overarching question for this upcoming year will be, how are chaos and order related? It doesn't get any better than that question. So stemming out of that, we're going to have an emergent curriculum. What does that mean, an emergent curriculum? An emergent curriculum means that we are learning out of what is actually happening in the world, not out of a predetermined curriculum. We're going to be learning all the things, science, math, history, English, but through the lens of what is happening today, so that the children can learn to make sense and be current, dealing with the very real problems that are happening in the world. And they can feel empowered and engaged, not vulnerable and afraid. This year, because of COVID and everything else that's going on, including the economic changes, the civil unrest around the world, and the upcoming elections in the United States and here in El Salvador, no matter what happens with all that, we are living through extraordinary times. So our curriculum will emerge out of that, and it's going to be incredible. Okay, session 1, kicking off on August 19th. Spark, Discovery, and Agora will be working on the same theme, but of course, everything will be geared toward the different age level and ability levels. So we're going to be doing a COVID creativity quest and the science of well-being. So what this is going to do for your kids is that it's going to give them the tools based in science to learn what they need to do to maintain their center, their equanimity, and their happiness and strength during all of this time. So they're going to learn how to notice their emotions and express them well. They're going to learn how to notice their thoughts and how those impact their life, how to focus on what's positive and what's good, and how to focus on gratitude. We're going to be bringing that locus of control from out there into this uncertain world to inside, focusing on what can I do to make this situation better. How can I make sure that I'm getting the right exercise and nutrition? Not that you as parents are forcing them to do that, but that they really grow in understanding of how to do that self-care during crazy times so that they can feel really good. They're also going to be engaged as engineers to plan a post-COVID future. We're going to be working with, for example, the Imagineering Curriculum of Disney, Pixar, and Khan Academy. We're going to be engaging them to design and build a pandemic-proof school for the future and many, many other engaging, hands-on, and relevant challenges. It's going to be incredible. At no time will your children be experiencing Zoom fatigue, since we always only have about 3 quick, engaging, and high-energy check-ins per day. We have a launch, we have a check-in, a launch in the morning, a check-in before lunch, and then we have another closing circle at the end of the day just to provide those bookends. It works very well. It's working all over the world for Acton. And you, as parents, do not have to cajole, force, nag them to do their work. We structure it so they want to be there. And we're learner driven, so the kids want to get their work done, and it's never the parent's responsibility to do that. Okay, so moving on to session 2, we will be looking at epidemiology. So that is contagion, the spread of viruses, developing vaccines, how those things can roll out, and how we can prevent the spread of future diseases, how we can prevent future pandemics. So that's going to be an amazing amount of learning, very relevant, and we're going to be really careful not to scare kids. We don't want them to feel out of control. No, we want them to understand that there are measures that they can take to have a degree of control over themselves, over their lives. And we also want to inspire them about career choices in the future that deal with this kind of thing, because obviously it's a thing. Session number 3, which will end just before Christmas, will be entrepreneurship. As you know, entrepreneurship is a core value of Acton, and every year we have an entrepreneurship project. And this year is no different, even if we can't go outside. But just like all real businesses this year, we have to pivot and reinvent ourselves. So maybe we won't be at the Mercadito. In June, just now of 2020, we had planned a beautiful collaboration with Galerías to have our Mercadito Jóvenes Emprendedores there, and we couldn't do it because of COVID. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to find the opportunity in the crisis, and we're going to create online businesses. What a better time than this? No time better than this to create an online business and to learn about entrepreneurship through the internet. So that's going to be an incredibly powerful session number 3, and we're all going to learn so much. Session number 4, hoping we'll be back in school presencial, but we don't know. So we are going to then split off the studio, the studios will be having different quests at that time. So session 4, Agora, the middle schoolers, they are, already really developing that critical thinking and really questioning the world and starting to be more checked into politics and the dynamics of power. Last year, they did a public service announcement about corruption. It was incredible. And so how amazing. They will have just seen in November the Trump-Biden election. Who knows how that will turn out. And they'll be able to understand specifically how the electoral process works, hopefully in the U.S., definitely in El Salvador. And so when Salvadoran citizens go out and vote for that legislative assembly, they're going to understand how that works and what impact that potentially is going to have on El Salvador. Fascinating. Another part of what we'll be looking at in that is free speech and how important that is to a free society. That amazing quest will end 2 days after the election on February 28th. So they will really end on an impactful note of observing the election, then boom, finding out who won, who lost, what are the numbers, what's the political power situation like. It's going to be amazing. You guys, I have to say, I think all schools do a great job, but you don't have this kind of creativity and flexibility with a curriculum in traditional school. You just don't. And so we're just so happy to be offering that to our own kids and to yours. All right, for the younger Eagles, Discovery and Spark, they're going to be learning about another powerful force in El Salvador, Volcanoes! So hopefully by then we'll be outside and we'll be looking at these majestic mounds of magma that surround us, and we're going to be learning all about the science of Earth and the power of that. For sessions 5 and 6, I don't want to bore you with the details right now, but we're having a mix of art, of performance, of learning about the human body, and we're going to have an amazing debate project in Agora. Get this. The question for Agora will be, and you parents in the exhibition will be the ones who ultimately decide, if you had a budget the size of the United States budget, would you spend your billions of dollars on terraforming Mars or another planet, or on fixing climate change on our current planet? Right? So the kids will research that, and they'll do a big debate, and they will be arguing whichever side they pick randomly. So they need to prepare for both. It's going to be incredible. And then you parents will decide based on who's the most convincing with their evidence and their data. It's going to be incredible learning. So the last one for middle schoolers is that they will be going out and doing actual apprenticeships, working in the community, because let's face it, let me ask you, where have you learned the most in your life? At school? Probably not. For me, I definitely learned the most in my work life. So that's why at Acton we start focusing on apprenticeships, real world learning as young as 12 years old in our school. And that's going to be an incredible amount of learning. So as you can tell, we're super excited. If watching this video makes you a tenth as excited as we are about this upcoming year, then I know you're feeling excited too. I hope that gives you an awesome vision for what's going to happen. We don't know how many days of the year we're going to have to wear masks, or how many days we'll be at the dining room table talking over Zoom, or how much hand sanitizer we need to buy. But we are going to have an awesome year. We're going to take advantage of this crisis to learn as much as possible about human resilience, creativity, entrepreneurship, scientific exploration, and big major human decisions. And your children are going to come out of this better, stronger, more resilient, and more anti-fragile than they were when they came. We're going to be talking about that book, Anti-Fragile, too. So cheers to an awesome upcoming year. We're really glad for those of you who are on board this year and who are going to celebrate an awesome year 5 with us. And we know it's just going to keep getting better. So thank you very much. Love you. Hugs to everyone. And we'll be in touch over email.